So just when you thought the Paranormal Activity franchise was dead and buried, it comes back. So this Halloween we had Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. So Next of Kin is not Paranormal Activity 7. It's a reboot of the series. As far as I know, it doesn't have any connections to the previous movies. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was half asleep when I watched this, I'm going to be honest, and I haven't seen the other Paranormal Activity movies for a long time. But from what I do remember, I don't think there's any connections. So I really enjoyed the Paranormal Activity franchise. I thought the first one and the last one was definitely my favourites, which is weird that number 6 would be a good movie because you think any movie that is number 6 in a franchise is going to be pretty horrible, but I think that was actually a really good one. Basically, this girl who was adopted growing up sets out to find her birth family who live in an Amish community in the middle of nowhere, and creepy stuff starts to happen. So I might seem really harsh with this movie, but that's only because I know what this franchise is actually capable of when done correctly. So this is a franchise that I have a lot of respect for because the first movie, I don't know the exact number, but it was made on like a shoestring budget. It was such a cheap, independent movie, and I really like that that showed that you don't have to have a lot of money being put into a movie to make it a good movie, as long as you have a good storyline and good actors. And that was one thing I felt like this movie just lacked in. Even though it had a bigger budget, the acting was just below standard. And same for the cinematography. Look, I get this is a found footage movie, so obviously there's going to be the standard heavy breathing, shaky camera work, but this just went so far in that direction that it took me out of the movie at times. And I just found that the jump scares, look, I'm not one of those people that have a problem with jump scares. If they're done correctly, I'm fine with it. But I found some of them in this movie to be so cheesy and just not earned at all. You know, like there was this moment where there was like a scarecrow or something, and it could have been good if done in a different way, but it was just so cheesy that it actually ended up making me laugh out loud. So I will say there was one moment that was really good. So they find this church where there's all this really suspicious stuff happening and they want to investigate, and they find this hole that goes deep underground and they want to see what's down in that hole. So basically they have to lower somebody in a harness down into that hole, and creepy stuff starts to happen. They start to see and hear things, and that was a good moment. That really was full of suspense and it had me on the edge of my seat. But unfortunately, that was pretty much the only moment in this movie that really stood out to me. So the whole storyline basically is one where, so the woman finds out that her mother, the one that gave her up for adoption, lived in this Amish community and basically met a guy outside of the community and had her and then gave her up for adoption. And basically this isn't actually a real Amish community. They're just pretending to be Amish, and they're really like worshipping or sacrificing women of a certain bloodline to this demon so that he doesn't get free and bring about the end of the world or something. So basically this woman has been lured there under false pretense so that she can be the latest woman in the bloodline to be sacrificed and taken over by the demon. And the woman that is currently being possessed by the demon is her mother, and she sort of looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. I don't know, that's the only thing that I could think of when I saw her, is that why is Gollum in a Paranormal Activity movie? Anyway, I feel like they really could have explored the background more and given us more background information on what happened with the adoption and everything, because that's one problem I always have with these movies. I feel like they never really explain the background information very well. The movie always ends really abruptly. It just sort of felt like a Hereditary wannabe. So if you've seen this movie, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. Did you enjoy it? And what is your favorite Paranormal Activity movie in the franchise? And if you want to see more videos from me, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, all of that stuff. Thanks, guys.